You know, I'm always late. You got to put the makeup on and do all his hair. He's like, hey guys.
Right. Yeah, we're running there just a couple minutes late. It's no big deal at all.
It's okay. They wait for us. They wait for us. If they don't, well, don't get to see all this raving beauty, both sides.
Right? And look at this giant fox in the middle, right?
Exactly.
I found this picture.
There we go.
Is this what?
Yes.
I found this picture and I was like, oh, can I make this a background somehow? I hope it's not too busy, but I liked it. And I just did that really quick. But let me play her bio video and let's get her on with us. And we're, excited to talk about biohacking.
There you go.
This week in the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, we welcome Dr. Grazyna Pajunen. She is a renowned biohacking coach. She not only knows the natural ways to disrupt the downward spiral of declining health and improve the status quo, but also the newest ingestibles, supplements, wearable tech, and AI tools. But what she is best known for is turning back the clock, reversing the aging process. Her clientele isn't performance-driven athletes, wealthy lawyers, or internet entrepreneurs. It's everyday folk who are tired of being tired of giving into aging, and tired of incessant creep of wrinkles, and tired of aches, pains, feeling like their bodies are giving up on them while their minds are still engaged and active. Today, she is here to offer wisdom from her book, Biohacking, A Way to a Better You. Look and feel better than you did 10 years ago. But that's simply a starting place. Biohacking isn't a one-size-fits-all. It has to be tailored to an individual based on their physiology, genetics, health conditions, goals, propensities, preferences, and more. And that's where Dr. Pajunen comes in. She evaluates the interventions that work, recommends the products that have a proven track record, keeps people on track, tracks their data, adjusts along the way, keeping them moving forward. We are going to talk about the extraordinary adventure that is biohacking, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and where aging is no longer a one-way street. We welcome you, Dr. Pajunen, and everyone to the Fox Den.
Blue butterfly.
Hi, welcome to the show.
I am so happy to be here. Hi, Gina. Hi, Mama D. I hope I can share something that your audience would love and can implement and start feeling at 2 years younger.
That'd be nice, especially for me. I always say my body is 63 years old. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and it feels like 163, but my mind and my soul and my heart are different ages. So if we can fix the body, that would be nice. Maybe at least the face.
And you have to understand that our bodies are created in such a way that they can heal themselves.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand it, but it's absolutely true.
I agree.
Science. It's proven by science. I am a scientist, right? So everything has to, I look at clinical studies, I look at proofs, because a lot of people are telling about many anecdotes. And anecdotes are great, but anecdotes are maybe working, maybe not working. Maybe they did work for this person, and maybe something else worked, and that person just thought it was working.
Right.
So, scientific proof where they can evaluate based on sufficient group of people versus placebo, already tell us something, we can at least hold on to. And this has been proven.
Yeah. Right. And by the intro, like Gina says, it's specifically made for each person. So it's not a one size fits all. It's not like everybody just take this pill and you do a whole detailed, as I call it,
people would love that. Just give me a pill. I sit on the sofa and I eat donuts and everything will reverse, Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way.
Yeah, no.
And, I had one client whose only exercise was from sofa to refrigerator. So unfortunately, it didn't work for him, and there was no way to really get him to do anything else, because he objected, or even if I said, start walking around the house, don't immediately go and run a marathon, right?
God, no. Yeah.
Just start walking
Movement.
around your house, but do something. Write down what you are doing. I personally, I know there are two ages. One is chronological age.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely nothing we can do about it. This is what everybody describes as age.
Yeah.
Right? I will be this year 74. I am still 73, but I will be 74 years old, right?
Okay. I'm 62.
Oh,
She's
63.
Exactly. So this is it. And we can't change that. That's it.
Exactly.
They will write you on your documents and you look at this every single day.
Yeah.
But fortunately, there is another age called biological age.
Okay.
And now this biological age, for me, based on biomarkers, you make a blood test and they really establish your biological age.
Okay.
And I am 58.
Oh, nice.
So how old I am? Really?
58.
And actually, you can buy a scale.
Mm-hmm.
That scale also evaluates your age. Based on the scale, I'm 45.
Damn, girl.
So how old I am, it really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You shouldn't worry about those numbers because it doesn't matter. If you feel, especially, I understand that America is all about looks. I need to look like
Canada.
a model. I need to have a facelift because, look at the wrinkles. Terrible, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
People want to look younger, but they don't understand one thing. No matter how many thousands of dollars you spend on creams, they will not rebuild your body.
No.
The only way you can rejuvenate really, truly, is from inside out.
Yep.
So and also one thing is also important, awareness. You have to listen to your body. Your body is screaming and telling you what body needs. You have to listen.
My body is screaming, I need a vacation.
So you need a vacation. Or if you don't go for a vacation, you will simply wear out. But you don't have to go anywhere. You have to start breathing deeply, taking breaks, walking, eating correctly, and you will feel like being on vacation. We go on vacation because we distract from the everyday. But honestly, you go to some hotel and you have fantastic place at home, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it distracts. And notice that if you want to achieve something like in your business, many times I told to my son, I said, look, we are on a cruise and our business is developing like crazy. But, because you are feeling good, you are in line with higher power because you enjoy, so then everything works better. But it's not because you went on vacation. It's because you aligned.
Yep.
Because you feel joy. But we can learn to feel joy at every time, every moment of our life.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Mama D, when I was asked once, how do you define success? How do you define success? Have you ever thought about it? What is success in life?
For me, success is when when I'm happy and my children are happy. So long as they're happy, then
Exactly.
For me, it's
It's achieving my goals.
Achieving your goals. That's fantastic. These are the 2 points of views. And most people define success as monetary success or achievements or something like this. But for me, it's learn to enjoy every moment of your life.
Yep. Exactly. Because no matter how much money you make.
Look at that. If you achieve your goal, why do you want to achieve that goal? Think about it. Because you want to feel better.
Yes. Yes, I feel better when it's done. I will kill myself to get these things done that I have to get done. I have a lot of things I need to do, things I'm building for events that are coming up and all this kind of stuff. So there's so much I have to get done. So I will set a goal, a piece of it. And when I achieve it, then it's like, yes.
Exactly. So this is the reason. So net goal is to feel great.
Yep.
Right.
If somebody would do it for you and give it to you, that wouldn't be that enjoyment.
No, exactly. You wouldn't be able to enjoy it. Like she could, because Gina and her partner Bob make these amazing pieces of equipment for paranormal investigation, and they work together. He works on the brain part, and she works on the beauty part. Hello, she's gorgeous, right? But she'll post the different things that she does, and I'm like, they are stunning. And I know she enjoys it because when she's finished and she shows them to everybody, because she'll make about, sometimes she can make a dozen a day. And she's so happy with herself that she feels like, I can show this. And nobody ever says anything otherwise, because the work that they do is awesome.
Exactly.
Thanks, Mama.
But the journey, the developing, the creativity, that's really the enjoyment, also part of this. If somebody would do it for you, and then you just put your name on it, it's not the same. It's not the same. I still remember when I was a kid, I was walking in the mountains, and I was very tired. But then I reached the top, and there was a lake. Ooh. And I went to swim in that lake. And then I understood that I would never be able to enjoy that, if I wouldn't get tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I get it. So can you do me a favor? For everybody that's watching, can you just explain exactly what biohacking is?
Yes, and there's no one definition, but I give you the definition that I use. So, as I said, we have the body that that can heal itself. Mm-hmm. So our purpose is to create the environment. Would it be outside environment, or just adjust our lifestyle so that our body performs an optimal way? Would it be mentally? Would it be physically, or any other way? So optimal way.
Right.
So that's biohacking. So through self-experimentation, we are changing this road for our optimization.
Perfect. So what is the first step? I know you said something about blood tests, but I'm in Canada. So if I asked my doctor to do a blood test and run it on whatever, he'd look at me like I needed my head examined. So what is the first step that you have to take when you're doing biohacking on a person?
Well, first of all, as I said, it's awareness. So first of all, when I start working with somebody, let's say, then I say, what do you want to achieve? And they tell me. But the first thing, we are going through different things and see if what is your, on a scale 1 to 10, where are you? So for example, it's mind and body connection. Are you stressed all the time? Are you taking this negative news inside? Are you doing? So this is one thing. So we evaluate that, because if you have this disconnect, nothing else will work. Okay. Yeah. The second thing is the way of nutrition. So we check, what do you eat? And there is no one diet for everybody. Right. Everybody is different. Somebody can be vegetarians. I couldn't. Somebody cannot eat fat. Somebody, you have to listen to your body. So I give the examples, like in my book, of different diets. You can try, you can see, you have to experiment which works for you.
Oh, makes sense.
Your book, to read your book, you definitely can tell that you are a scientist. It is written in that form, formula like that. It's like, this is this and this is
This
that.
is the reference book. I wrote it as a reference book because I had to repeat it over and over to everybody. So I said, finally, let me write the book. So here is the book, you start from that. And physical activity. We already talked about it. People are coming to me, I have no time. No, you do. 20 minutes a day. You have to make time. Just have to figure out what kind of exercises are suitable for you. But for example, HIIT, so that means that interval training, it's like high intensity interval training is fantastic because you don't need so much time. What is it? So for example, you go for a walk, but for 30 seconds, you go very fast. So your heart is beating very, very hard, right? So do the interval training. It doesn't, or you invest in a good quality vibration therapy plate, so you do those exercises on the tight muscles. It's like being in a gym for at least half an hour or longer for 10 minutes, then you have to maybe invest in inversion tables so that you stretch your body. We have to
have one of those.
Against gravity, right? So all those, when you, for example, people don't understand, especially men, do not understand how important is stretching. Stretching is critical, especially your hips, because they will give up on you. And you have to stretch those hips in all different directions. So I have the exercises for, on my YouTube channel. I have also the book to recommend just for that. And this will help it. Then, for example, supplementation. A lot of people are going and buying whatever they hear. Oh, I have heard that everybody needs vitamin D. Well, not everybody. I have, for example, too much of it. So this is something that you have to understand. What are basics? Basics, you have to take care of your connective tissue, rebuild your connective tissue, take care of the inflammation, take care of your gut. For women especially, take care of your hormones, but without hormone therapy, replacement therapy.
I do that. See, I'm like an exception. I would be like your nightmare person, right? Because I can't do all the physical exercise because I have COPD, I have emphysema. I can't do all that because I can't breathe. Lips turn blue. I got kicked out of the gym. So
well, you can you lay in your bed in the morning and just do the bicycle?
Sure, I probably could.
See, that's already, there is always.
I was thinking of getting one of those ones that sit under your desk that,
Yes, because you have to move the joints. What about easy swimming? Just easy. Or
I got to put this body in a bathing suit.
It's okay. It's okay. You are having a great body.
Women don't even start that.
Love yourself as you are, and not, and everything will be just fine.
Or do like I did and buy the bathing suit that turns like a little dress, so it just hides the belly.
Why not? Why not? You have to feel and look at you. Look at me, how beautiful I am. Right?
And that's the thing. People and people are so into, like you said, there's a lot of people that it's about looks, and like I'm a little chunky. I admit it. I could stand to lose a few pounds, but for some reason, every time I lose weight, it goes here first. So I'm like,
absolutely. So, that's what we can solve this problem, because we have supplement that tightens the skin, rebuilds a muscle tone, as well as you are losing. Actually, losing weight it requires discipline, but it's not very difficult. The only thing you have to know, not eat. You should eat.
Yes.
That's terrible if you don't eat, but what you eat. This is important. And when you eat, do you know they had two groups of mice, and one group of mice, they gave them the same amount of food, the same amount of calories, everything. One group of mice ate all the time. The other group of mice ate only at a certain times.
Okay.
And this group that mice that ate at a certain times was living much longer. But this is not about living much longer, because we do much longer. But the problem is living in health much longer.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people eat too much. And you have to discipline yourself not to eat between meals.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. I'll tell you what. And I'm showing all your things here. So there's your book and there's the free guide next to it. And your website is listed there. But what was I just going to tell you? Oh, I just lost it. I totally lost it. Oh, I know what it was. Oh, for the weight. I'm actually doing Wegovy right now. Now, you did say something about that, you know, the, what is it called? GLPs, whatever, you know, at the end, like you can work with those or, you know, combine with other things. But it's working for me because I did lose like almost 30 pounds already.
Damn, girl.
Yes. And you know, if you still use the collagen hyaluronic acid matrix, we have the supplement that tightens your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So that means when you lose weight, your skin gets tightened and rebuilds the muscle tone.
Yeah.
You are golden. You are golden because a lot of people, unfortunately, with their diets, lose the muscle tone.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous for us, especially as we get older.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to build it back. So this is important. Low glycemic food, low inflammatory, food, and don't eat between meals. So that works for most people, not for everybody. Again, because some people.
What are the?
I'll tell you, because I would snack a lot, and then with the Wegovy, I could actually go all day without eating, no problem. It's like you're not hungry. When you do this shot, you are not hungry until you eat.
All right.
When you eat,
what? Yeah, is it Ozempic shots?
It's a Wegovy. It's like Ozempic. It's called Wegovy.
It's like Ozempic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
The brand.
Well, but is it natural? I don't know that one. Is it natural? It doesn't have side effects?
Originally, all medications do, but originally it was made as a diabetic, something for diabetes.
Yeah.
And they found out that it helped people
I would have to double check because Ozempic definitely has so many side effects that it's a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't.
We have something like natural Ozempic that is your body starts generate GLP-1. This is not my area really to weight loss, but there are several things that I recommend, but I'd rather send them to somebody who is working that more in that area.
Right. Well, for me though, it's just that the extra weight and where I can't exercise because of the lungs, like I'm losing my voice now because I was running around today, right? So because I can't, I wanted to just lose some of the bulk that, now I can go out for my walk. You know what I mean? Because I'm not lugging so much extra weight that is actually putting more stress on my lungs. So I was like, please, I went to my doctor. I'm like, I just need something just to start, if I can get down to a manageable place where I'm just about there, then I can do some stuff without absolutely.
And especially when you are doing GINA under doctor supervision. So that's really, really good because then you have it in control. You have
to go once a month because it's a controlled substance. So I have to do it all the time.
Because there are some people doing, stop eating and then they lose weight and then the body is starving. And then you get it even more back, and then they are really depressed. And this is not the way to go. Mm-hmm. You have to, the weight is really lifestyle. You have to adjust your lifestyle. When you adjust your lifestyle, you lose your weight. And at the same time, it's permanent because you already enjoy your new body and you want to, and you enjoy your new lifestyle because it brings you joy. It has to be all together. So, so that's great, and then you can move, and then you have to, because every single kilo extra weight is 4 kilo on your joints, so it really gets you a lot stress on your joints, and then the joints have problems. You have problems with joints, then you cannot move because everything hurts, and then you take painkillers, and there is nothing worse than that, because the painkillers, your body, when it hurts, your body tells you help me, and now you kill it. So now you really destroy your joints.
That's exactly why I won't take anything.
Circle, yeah.
I did like construction my whole life. So I had huge muscles, right? Really big arms, not like a normal woman's arms. I couldn't get normal women's shirts. I would have to buy things like this, and not to hide fat, to hide muscle, because they were so big. Right? Now the fat has turned into fat because I haven't been doing that kind of work for a long time,
So we have also a supplement that minimizes the fat cells. I am always, when I am recommending any supplements, I make sure that they stimulate your own body to produce whatever your body needs. So this is how I work, and it has to work inside out, and it has to be clinically proven. So these are my conditions. If they don't have clinical studies, I don't.
Recommend it.
I don't know, because even if it works for me, although I all test on me, even if it works for me, it doesn't mean that it will work for you.
Exactly. And Gina says she can't get out to exercise because it affects her lungs. But the thing is, she exercises. She's got like 3 sets of stairs in her house. So to go from upstairs to her office, it's like 1 floor down. Yes. And then if we go into the dungeon, that's the floor down.
Yeah, 16 steps between each floor.
Well, but there are 3 types of exercises. There is strength, there is flexibility, and there is aerobic. So that will be aerobic. I think that if you would sit down and do some yin yoga, which are very slow movements on stretching, it would be fine for you. You can,
I've always wanted to do like Tai Chi, and you've said about that in your book too. So between yoga, Tai Chi, and all that kind of stuff, that would be wonderful.
That's exactly right. So this one, stretching and strength. Strength yoga is doing a lot of strength. You don't need really, you can use the lightweight. You don't have to use big weights.
Yep.
And just to make sure those 3 things you are just taking care of. And then your body, because this thing is like when you are over 60, the muscles, the muscles, especially in your legs, when they start failing, then it's you cannot keep balance. You cannot. So you have to, like, for example, can you do? I'm sure you can put a bench and go up, 10 times one leg, 10 times another leg, 3 series. It's
what I can't do?
Boring. It's boring. But it's really working.
Exactly.
Yeah. That I could do. But what I can't do is if I bend down to get something, I can't get back up. Right? Like to do a squat, I cannot do a squat anymore. My leg muscles are like shot. It's like I need help to get up or lean on something,
That's the time to start. And you cannot start from doing 100 squats. You have to start with simple, up the bench, a small bench, and then little more, and then write down in your book, I am Victory, I did today 20, and my book next day, I did 21, fantastic, I am moving forward. This is how it's biohacking. You measure your progress. You want to look fantastic, take a picture of your face and see after, that's what we suggest everybody, because when you rebuild connective tissue, we have to see that we really do it. So we zoom on the quality of the skin, and then the same happens inside of your body. So you measure and you prove to yourself that that's what you are doing is working. If you prove, even see slight correction, you are already encouraged to continue. If you don't see anything, and normally if you don't measure, you don't see, because you see, or even you don't, you don't feel, because you forget. You you forget. You have
Yeah.
to measure on a scale 1 to 10, okay, where I am today. And sometimes, this is also something which is necessary, that you have somebody to guide you, because sometimes you can start feeling worse before you start feeling better. And you have to understand, is it normal? Is it fine? Is that something wrong with me? So this is tricky. This is tricky, because we would never had to do it if we would have the lifestyle like those people in blue zones, but unfortunately we can't. We can't adjust this life to that life,
Okay. Yeah.
So we have to do what we can do with what we have.
Yeah. And for those who don't understand, could you explain what a blue zone is?
Sure. There is, like, for example, Juzurihara in Japan, or some Italy, island, where people live to over 100 and they don't know the doctor, they don't have wrinkles, they are just feeling great. So that's how the scientists went there and they studied it. Why those people are the super people? Is it genetics? No, because their children who moved to Tokyo, they got died faster than their parents.
Yep.
So the question was, what is really different? The difference is that from the time they were born, and this is critical, from the time they were born, their lifestyle was they make their own food. They work in the field. They prepare their own seeds, and they grow their food, which is all clean. Then they worked. Also, they exercise, right? And they have clean food. And then they eat it, which is normally with those people who were there. Connie Chain actually did the commentary on that topic. She tried it and she really hated it. She said nobody here would like to eat it. It's so terrible. But anyhow, they were eating it. So, and then in the evening they get together and they talk to each other. They sing songs. They have community there.
They're not all sitting in front of
a computer or a cell phone.
So what scientists measured is the components of connective tissue, which is collagen, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, over there, and they noticed that they had in their diet a lot of magnesium since they were born, so they haven't, and also food with a lot of hyaluronic acid, they haven't lost it.
Yeah.
So the curves, which are here, they are dropping about 10 to 15% every 10 years. So they sharp down. When by the time you are 60 or so, you almost don't have hyaluronic acid in your body. We don't have much of the collagen even.
Yeah, we can tell that part.
So that's and over there the curves were like more flat. Yeah. So they said, okay, so what can we do to adjust this? Well, the whole idea was that you have to somehow supplement. But the problem is that when you check the food, we have collagen, we could have hyaluronic acid, but the molecule in nature is huge. Yeah. And our body cannot adjust it, cannot absorb it. Yeah. So there was a lot of research, and they finally found the natural source in nature that is bioidentical to our own body.
Nice.
So, but they still couldn't eat it because still the molecule was too large. Yeah. So they hired the scientists from Cornell, Stanford, and Harvard, and they worked for 20 years to find what is the optimal size of the molecule and to make it. So finally, we have something that we can hold on under our tongue, and it's sublingually saturate our body, and then say the body take over, and the body is put in the places wherever they need to put. And this way, people start to rebuild it. But it still wouldn't work if you all other lifestyle is terrible. If you don't sleep at night, if you stress, if you're angry all the time, if you are, it's still, no matter what you take, you are not going. It's not going.
Exactly.
So right there. You're so right there. What you were just explaining is in that free guide there. It tells the story about what you exactly just said, which is amazing. There was in cute little graphics and everything in there too. I love that. But that is cool. And I love the fact, and I've said that for many, many years, because I have to take a handful of pills, right? Because I am vitamin D deficient. I get my blood work done all the time. I have to take fish oil. I have to take vitamin D. I got to take, like it's like that's my breakfast. There's a handful of freaking pills every day. Statins, this, that, the other thing, levothyroxine. It's like, man, if I could get rid of all of that.
Well, I cannot tell you, not to take this, because if the blood work says that you should take it, you should take it. But look for the most absorbable form, and look everything for liquid if you can.
Yeah.
Because liquids are much more absorbable. Make sure that this is quality. It's not made in China, because you really don't know what is inside that when it comes to United States. So and then that anecdote. That anecdote now. A lot of people whom we work with get rid of a lot of unnecessary medications and so on, because you see, when your body takes over, you need to give the body what it needs to rebuild itself. So you have to make sure about stem cells, for example, and there are a lot of different sources of those people or companies that manufacture those. How do you choose the right one? Okay. So this is something that I focus on. Let's say you have a problem with circulation. I am looking for natural. Remember that every medication, it was coming from nature really first. And then like aspirin, for example. What is aspirin? Wheelbarrow, right? So if you look for the nature will not harm you. Most of the time. Of course, you can overdo everything. I am talking about reasonable and so on. So that's how I look. And does it stimulate your own production? So, for example, this what I'm talking about stimulates production of all collagens in your body and hyaluronic acid. And now, why hyaluronic acid is so important?
Will that take away the crepey skin?
You see, first of all, your skin is connective tissue. So yes, but only hyaluronic acid is the hydration molecule, so to speak. Each molecule of hyaluronic acid attracts 1000% of its own weight of water. So it acts as a sponge. That is the reason why when you drink a lot of water, but you have this sponge or hyaluronic acid, the water just goes through you. It doesn't hydrate your body. And that's the reason why older people have problems with hydration. And hydration is critical for your health.
Yeah.
So yes.
I drink so much water, yet I'm always thirsty.
Yes, and you need to hydrate your body. So you need that extra hyaluronic acid. But when you buy hyaluronic acid, which are commercially available, the most time these molecules, and the manufacturer will not tell you that, are too large to really for your body to absorb. For example, with the creams, and this I know for a fact, most of the creams that have hyaluronic acid, you pay extra money, yes. So long you put it on your face and they stay there, it looks fine. Then you wash it out, they will not rebuild your skin.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yes.
So you condition the skin, yes, but rebuilding the skin, no. That's why they very often use needles. Or, for example, you go to, fillers. when they are injecting hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
What is it? It is a filler. What is filler? Imagine balls put under your skin. So that means that it's okay because you look, it doesn't hurt you, but it looks much nicer because the skin is tighter, like because you put something under it.
What does it do? Does it go away? Does it just?
It will not rebuild it. It will not rebuild it. Why?
It's a temporary filler.
Something that is bio-identical to your skin and you drink it, then it starts rebuilding on a cellular level.
How can you find that out? Because that, for me, that's what my issue is, that there's my skin. It's very pale. I'm redhead. 5 minutes in the sun, I look like a color of my shirt. But my thing is like my skin gets very dry, and I put lots of oil and creams on it. When I take a shower, I scrub down as much as possible. I come out and I lotion up with some nice good. But
you see, when you start drinking it, your skin also will get hydrated, and this is why I tell people, write it down and take a picture of your face, because that's what we want to check. There is a clinical studies in 3 months. In 3 months, 80% increase in hydration of the skin without using any moisturizers.
What, like that?
So this liquid that you're talking about is available here on your website, www.effectivehealth.
Really, at this moment, no, because they change manufacturer. They change the place where they are. So you can contact me, just send me a text or whatever. And I would like to talk to you, because why I like to talk to people before I give the link. Because I want to tell you realistic expectations. There are several different types of this liquid, collagen hyaluronic acid matrix. There is Live, there is Beauty, there is others. And we want to focus. What do you want to achieve? How fast you want to achieve? And what is your budget? And I then tell you exactly and maybe we still need something else, that I can help you. For example, when you say that you want to have the fat up, maybe we still need something that has this and reduces the fat cells. Maybe, so I love to talk to people, and I tell you, this is what I would recommend, and we can order for you. And it's coming directly from the manufacturer to your house. This is critical, ladies and gentlemen, coming from manufacturer. All liquid supplement, please do not buy it from eBay. Do not buy it from anywhere when you are not idea. You cannot imagine what people are selling to me. I bought it on Amazon and that doesn't taste the same, what you're showing me. I say, well, I have no idea who is selling, what they put it inside that bottle. They will not support you. You will not get the warranty. Like here you have manufacturer gives you warranty, you guarantee, you don't have any problems. Always.
But you also suggest to be doing this like twice a day for like 6 months.
It's necessary. It's necessary twice a day, because we see the holds 12 hours and then it drops. We want to saturate your body with this. So you want to have another one morning, night. That
makes sense.
Night. And then you have to double check. And then we have a call. Every single month I have a call with you. I don't charge anything for these calls. I just want to, it doesn't have to be long call. You just tell me, what are your results? Are you going in the right direction? It's just checking your trajectory. That's it. And that's what you go. And we have amazing results. I mean, amazing. I can give you a few examples if you want to, but
oh yeah, go ahead.
I had it started from my husband, because I'm PhD in electrical engineering. So what am I doing?
I want to talk about that too.
What am I doing here? Because my husband had a problem with the shoulder. He was not able to lift this arm without the help of the other arm. And he went to the doctors. They did the MRI, everything, and they said, well, it's damaged completely. There is nothing we can do. It's too damaged for surgery. You have to have joint replacement. And he said, well, if I do joint replacement, can I water ski? Can I lift weights? Can I do this? And they were laughing, right? They said, no, you have to be careful. You have this and that. He said, then I'm not doing it because feel like 100 years old, right?
Exactly.
So, and he was suffering. He couldn't sleep at night. He couldn't find a position for this arm. He couldn't, you know, he was in pain nonstop, taking painkillers. And I was looking when he was killing himself with those painkillers, right?
Yeah.
So we are trying to look for the solution, and the solution came to our lab because our neighbor was born with arthritis, you know, so she was looking for the solution for her life. Yeah. And she was coming from a rich American family, so they could afford whatever, and everything she found worked for a short period of time and then it stopped working. Yeah. So she was eventually sitting on a wheelchair and waiting. She already replaced both hips, and she was waiting for the knee replacement, because you see, replacement is not solving your problem, because problem is degeneration of connective tissue. That's your problem, which you need to solve. So anyhow, with about half a year on that product, she canceled her knee replacement. First time she could walk, she was with no pain after about a year. So she came to my husband, she said, Alan, try it, because this is the only thing that worked. So he came to me and he asked me, no, he tried. He said, I don't believe you. I don't believe that it can work. It is like a snake oil. That's not possible. But he tried because he had no other way. He was in pain. So in about the 3 months, first month it didn't work. The second month, the pain was bigger. And the third, much bigger. He said, oh my God, he really, really was hurting. And the reason is because of this, you know, those ligaments, they stretch and now they have to extend. So that was the problem. And the third month, he called me to the kitchen. He said, look, by accident, I took milk out of refrigerator with this arm. And in 8 months, he said, you know what? I feel like I have a brand new shoulder. You are scientists, look into that, because that's what happened to me. Is a pure miracle.
Yeah.
So I pull up the clinical studies. I started studying it.
Now, is this for when you take this, it's going to correct all your joints, right?
Yes.
Back and all that.
Then I met an orthopedic surgeon, and I started talking to him, and he was teaching me everything what I know. He told me that, listen, the problem is that the problem with joints is degeneration of connective tissue, and that this is because we are losing all these components, and one of the main components was hyaluronic acid, what we were talking about, right? And you know what synovial fluid, this thing which is inside the joints, is made of? Hyaluronic acid. So when you lose it, it's no wonder that you have gone and you destroy the cartridge, right? So that's what Dr. Brady told me, you know, once we replenish that hyaluronic acid, and then the cartridge molecules start duplicate, and you start rebuilding it slowly. So, but it is a long process. So you have to have patience, but you know, look at that. If you replace the joint, you know, you do joint replacement, do you solve your problem? The problem is the generation of connective tissue. No. So after this, the other joint, and after this, your gums, and after this, your eyes, and after this, your skin, you know, after this, your hair, your nails, everything, you know, slowly we'll get.
Okay, so we got to talk about this hyaluronic acid for me, because if I lose my hair, I'm a spray.
Oh my God, this is beautifully. You have a lot of hair, but
she's got a lot of hair.
It goes down to about
Exactly.
And it's right now, like everything else, it's dry and it's brittle.
But honestly, some people have the problem, especially with the thinning.
Mm-hmm.
We have amazing results with those.
Okay.
When you already lost your hair, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, mine
She
I lost
uses it because she
cut
cuts it.
I keep cutting it. I cut my hair. When I get stressed, I cut my hair. So it was longer.
Okay, you look great. So it fits you.
See, told you. I'm not the only one who says it.
It's growing. It's growing. It's actually, it's not like.
So this was the first time when he rebuilt it. Then I had another friend who was 28 years. She had a problem with lower back.
Yeah.
So she took her 8 months.
Lower
Not
back.
any more problems. Another girl, my friend from Chicago, she was under 40 or around 40 years old. Her discs were slipping out.
Oh.
And she was really in pain. The doctors had to come to fix her, to put her back together, so to speak. And after 3 months, she was young, right? After 3 months, never had any episodes.
Nice.
We're absolutely. And sign me up.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, because I'm every day in pain. Since I was 17, I have whiplash 7 times on my neck. And so since I was 17, every single day, every hour of every day, I have pain in my neck. It's like I get used to it. Sometimes it's really unbearable and it makes me sick. It makes me physically sick, like I'm going to throw up. It'll give me a migraine. It's really bad, And other times I just have to deal with it. I refuse to take painkillers because I will really hurt myself if I take painkillers, so I won't.
You have to understand about the spaces, because they push the nerves. So that's why I hang from my legs and my hands also in the morning, short. It's not long.
I have one of those, and you don't have to hang all the way upside down. It's just a little.
No, you don't have to. But still, you need to hydrate it. You still, when you get this hydration with this synovial fluid in you, that's make a difference, And sometimes you need more.
I want this.
Sometimes you need more stem cells because these are workers that are rebuilding, your cells and so on. So it all depends. But this is like a basics because think about connective tissue.
Right. Now, what about that? Is it glucosamine? Is that what it is? That like years ago they were saying to take that, and I tried that, and that hurt me. Like what your husband was saying, it hurt me.
Yeah. Okay, this is a very good question because collagen is only one component of connective tissue. Glucosamine is only one component of connective tissue. Hyaluronic acid is only one component of connective tissue. So it's better than nothing. But what about if you have to bake a cake and you have only flour?
You have to have,
You have to have, and what about if you don't know what ingredients you put? You just put a little egg, a little sugar, a little this, and mix it all, and right? This is the same.
Exactly.
If the nature prepared for us something that is bioidentical to your own body, when you drink it, your body recognizes it as its own. So it recognizes you cannot be even allergic to it because it's something you already have in your body. You lost it and your body wants it back.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I wanted that.
People are taking collagen. Is it good or bad? Well, if it's a good source of collagen, it's always better than nothing.
Yeah.
But is it again better to, and some people say, oh, but we have more collagen. I said, well, if you put more flour, is it better cake?
Not always. Something you were saying earlier about the needles, and it sort of reminded me of something. They have these things out now, little rollers that have tiny little needles, and it's for your face, and it helps what about using things like that? Like, I know there's all kinds of things out there, but
you
it reminded me of those.
Stimulate from outside,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I am working with a lot of beauty professionals,
Mm-hmm.
and everything what they are doing, even plastic surgeons,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's if you rebuild your skin from inside out, anything you do, it will give better results.
It's a bonus. Okay.
You understand? So this is what that taught me, again, plastic surgeon, because it was the only product that he recommended in his practice, and he's working in California with models and actresses and so on. So I was saying, aren't we in competition? Because I thought, well, we are rebuilding skin here, and he is like surgery. He said, absolutely not. He said, when the skin becomes like paper with age. So if I rebuild the skin and then I do the procedure, I have much better results. And then after this, the healing process is 1/3 of the time. So because it's rebuilding very fast. So of course it is a winner. So that's why we work with the beauty professionals. We work with the fitness professionals, because imagine that you have a client who have problems with joints, right? So when you hydrate it and so on, you can much faster get them into the condition they want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I gotta say a quick story here. My daughter, well, like I have pretty good skin. I mean, I say it's genetic because I'm Finnish and Italian, right? So I say it's genetic, right?
Yeah.
So, and I know you went to school in Finland. Yeah, I was like, yes, so yeah, my grandparents came over from Finland. They actually even changed their names when they got here and all that, because it was too much, but it was a Kanerva. That's, my maiden name is Kanerva. So that's Finnish.
Dr. Pajunen is Finnish name.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but, the thing is, like with us having good skin to begin with, my arms and stuff, no, I scar very easily, right? But like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do one of the things. Now my daughters, neither one of them smoke, drink. Well, one of them drinks, but not a lot, But one of them, no, and she just had an operation. She's 40, right? We're sitting there, she's got her little thing on, and they're saying, are you sure you're 40? She's like, yeah, because she looked like she was 16, because she's like the perfect skin. They're like, what's your secret? She's like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I eat good, and she exercises all the time. She hikes all the time. But this is my point. With the good skin, with the no smoking and stuff like that, feeding your body appropriately, my other daughter, very athletic, okay? And she's really into health foods, and organic everything, eats a ton of salmon, right? But she was in the military for 22 years. She was down in Texas. She was over to her colonel's house. They were having some celebration party of something. She had a little dog. The dog escaped. She went to try to get the dog, picked up the dog bit her in the nose, and it took a chunk out of her nose, okay? She called me up, and she's screaming to me, because of course she exaggerates, and I told her 1,000,000 times not to exaggerate. But she's like, literally, the dog bit the nose right off my face. Well, I'm booking a flight. I'm going from Massachusetts to Texas. I'm like, something one way to get there. And it was just this little chunk. But it actually did what they did. And it did rebuild itself. They put all the stuff on there with a lot of collagen, with a lot of those things, patches. And they said to her, like she had to have like one little surgery thing. And, other than that, you would never even know this happened. But they said, if you were a smoker, you would have probably lost that skin on your nose. It would not have rebuilt. It would not have, that stuff up. So it's very important, the things that you put in your body, for that way too. All these tobaccos and these vaping things and all that kind of stuff. It's horrible for your body and what it does to you and your recuperative skills.
Well, it is, but from the other point of view, I know But it's always an exception, because I know some people who are 90 years old, smoke non-stop like a chain smoker, and they are feeling great, and another one who live fantastic, but in general, you are absolutely correct. In general, smoking, drinking, they destroy your body, but also on a mentally. So think, but this is, again, ask yourself, what do you need to do it?
Yeah.
Because there is a reason. And always when you try to change something, try to find a reason.
Yeah.
And then try to find something substitute or something that makes you happy, that when you don't do it, because it's very difficult to discipline yourself to not to smoke, or not to take a social drink or something like this, or even drinking in generally. But it's worth trying. It's worth working on it.
Except if you do like I did, and I replaced cigarettes with chocolate.
Well, I did smoke, and that's why I had COPD and emphysema. But I got that because of COVID, and they said I had it in my system, and it probably would have come out in my 80s or 90s by itself.
Yeah.
But because of having COVID, it came out, in 2020. So there I am, and then that set up a whole big depression thing.
Yep.
It was a lot of weight gain.
Yes, but you see, you have to look into depression. You have to look into this something that can stimulate the natural production of serotonin in your body, GABA in your body, and there are some supplements that can do that, and then and also dopamine, so that your body can manufacture that. So so I am always for so looking for something that is natural.
Yeah.
Because according to my opinion, there is nothing better than nature.
Yep.
Right.
Agree there, 100%.
Yep, I agree. I agree too. Yeah. And like you said, your body, it's already in your body, so your body's not going to reject it.
So for example, I would, instead of chocolate, what about if you look around and say, wow, what beautiful trees, or what is the nature, or start a breathing exercise. For example, deep breath in and hold the breath and go out. I mean, you will not need a stimulant.
Yeah.
Your body, because they are stimulants, right?
Yes.
So
Agreed.
your body start to find pleasures
elsewhere,
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Well, I joked about it. I mean, I did.
No, I know.
I did quit smoking, and we did it gradually. There was no way for me to just cold turkey, and I didn't do it with all the patches and the gum, and tried the gum once, and it tasted like I was chewing an ashtray. It's like nasty.
Yeah,
nasty.
no, I don't agree with that.
Not for the gum makers, but nasty. Yeah. But it's been, oh gosh, over 10 years. I still every so often get the urge going, I wonder if, but I know myself. I know that if I started again, it took me so much to quit, that if I started again, I might get into that same circle. So I don't. And for the last while there, it's been a long time that I haven't had a cigarette.
I was always smoking, because everybody smoked when they were students, right?
Yep.
Everybody liked it at this time, and
so
and
cool.
I had my girlfriend was coming and was sitting on the balcony, and of course we had a cigarette, we smoked, and my son, was small one, came back from school, and he said, "Mom," with tears on his eyes, and said, "Mom, they told me that if you smoke, you will die." And he was so worried. And I said, why would I make him angry? I never took a cigarette from that moment ever.
Oh, nice.
Because of that emotion.
It was a great motivator.
I did it because I kept getting sick every year. Like I started getting bronchitis every year, and then it was walking pneumonia, and then I had pneumonia, and I'm coughing up all this crap, right? Really yucky, disgusting stuff. And I woke up in the morning and I had actually, and I'll never forget it. It's like, just like I can see it, just like it was yesterday, a cigarette in my hand and matches, a book of matches, because my lighter died. I remember this. And I'm coughing and I'm like going, oh my God, I wish I would stop coughing so that I can have my cigarette and start the day. And then it was like, yes. And it was like, wait a minute.
What the hell am I doing?
What the heck? Right. And it was like the light went, poof. And my mind just totally made it up. It just said, this is insane. So I crunched the pack of cigarettes. I threw it. I said, all right, I'm already sick. I'm already got pneumonia. I'm already going to be sick. I'm already going to be miserable. And it was 2 weeks of absolute hell. But then it's done. It's done. I think anybody can do that. You know what I mean?
Anybody can do that.
Anybody.
And actually, when you take a picture of the lungs of the smoker and put it on the wall, maybe that would help, because when I look at that, and the same time with food, when you take a picture, what happens inside, when you imagine you eat when you haven't digested yet your previous meal, and you put a new meal, it's like a spoiled food left outside of the refrigerator. What is happening in your body? If you imagine that, maybe you don't put the next thing in your body. You wait when it digests your food, then you take the next meal, because you have to eat, but you shouldn't poison yourself. And then you have to take care of your gut, because if you don't take care of your gut, no matter what kind of supplements you take, they don't work, because they will not be absorbed. And then you have a leaky gut, and then everything is going to circulation and poison your entire system. And then you go to the doctor and they give you antibiotics, right? Good luck.
No.
And it's just like that.
Yeah, because nowadays, and it's not that I have anything against medicine, because I'm for it. I work with it. But I also don't like taking a ton of medication. I don't like it. There is only, I take some medication. This was the woman who did the splits, like when she was 57 years old, went straight down to the ground. Doctor said I didn't break anything, but I'll be in pain for the rest of my life. So I'm like, no. I do take medications for that and a few other things, but my biggest one is the one I have to take is thyroid, because I have hyperthyroidism. But I know that there's medications that not medications, but things you can take to adjust that, to balance it out. I was like, so we're definitely going to be talking.
Yeah. So I'm absolutely not. A lot of my very good friends are medical doctors. I know how extremely hard they work. And how very responsible work it is. They save people's lives. So the only problem is that they are not trained from chronic. They are amazing with the emergency medicine. And they have only one semester, one course of nutrition. So they simply do not know that. They don't know supplementation. I was with the cardiologist. I said, listen, I think that what happened with this person is inflammation. And he said, absolutely agree. And I said, so why don't we give him curcumin? Because curcumin doesn't have, especially which is absorbable liquid, that would have no side effects. And he said, this is not known. It's 3 years of research, but they
known for him.
It, so they don't know how to relate that to the medications and everything together. So this is the problem with the medicine. It would be great to have combined both.
So if we want to talk to you, do we do that? Book a call.
This is the best way, is to book a call, because I travel a lot. I have a lot of lectures. So this is the best thing to do. Book a call and then put that this is from the show, so you will get special discounts. And this is the best way to do it.
Awesome. I'm just going to say this out loud. So it's www. time, T-I-M-E.
That is I is too much. It's meet me.
Me
So
time.
meet me. There's no I.
No
So
I.
MEETME.SO/be well.
Meet me. Oh, okay. Meet me.
Meet me.
Meet
We're
me.
gonna meet
Oh,
with Grazyna.
I thought it was me time. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I think
Yeah.
that's what it says on the
Yeah. So
on the paper.
probably, yeah. So probably she made a mistake.
Yeah.
But it should be meet me. Mm.
There
All
you
right.
go.
So www.meet
Meet me.
.so
Yes.
/be
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the name of that website.
And also when you go to this on the end of this information, which is here to the left, when you, oh no, this one probably doesn't have the link, but no, the link would be the best here.
Okay.
Yeah, because
and what is on this effectivecollagen.com?
This one is a lot of knowledge, a lot of explanation. There are clinical studies, only that the links to order don't work.
Okay.
Because we switched and I was not able. We just switched 2 weeks ago, so I was not able yet to correct it.
Okay.
I have to
And
get.
your book is available on Amazon currently.
Yes.
Okay. And the free guide is the free guide, and that you can get here.
And the free guide, yes. This is be discomfort free. Yeah. So on the end of this, well, it's also this link to book a call.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So
I put the link into the chat room of
sorry.
I put the link for the meet me and be well. So be well. The link is in our show, which goes to our YouTube channels. So if anybody who's listening and wants to go check it out, you can either go to our YouTube channel, follow that link, and you can book a meeting with this beautiful, lovely lady who will help fix you up.
Oh, that's so lovely. And I
did want to talk to you about Finland.
Oh, fantastic. I was there for 10 years. I love it.
Wow.
I lived in Helsinki.
That is amazing. Yes, you went to college in Helsinki.
What happened was I was coming from Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only country they let me go for 2 months. That was communistic still Poland. We couldn't get passports, so I was applying, and so refusal. And finally one day I got for 2 months to Finland. So I packed my backpack, I took my bicycle, I took my $10. I didn't know anybody in Finland. I didn't speak Finnish at that time. I just bought for the boat, and the boat took me there. And I ended up in Finland, and I just said, what do I do? So I said, I go where students are, and they will help me. And that's exactly what happened. I said that I'm coming from Poland. I need some help, some guidance, here. Mm-hmm. So they let me even stay on the floor for 1 or 2 nights in their dorm.
Oh, nice.
And then they showed me where I could immediately find a student job. I was collecting bottles for beer from the table in the student club, and I was making enough money to start. And then I went to the company, that electrical engineering company, and they hired me, and that's my start of my career. And I was so happy, that I could support myself, because in Poland at the time, we couldn't support ourselves from the salary. There was no way. We were like, people were making about $20 a month, right?
Wow.
The medical doctors were maybe 20, 30, 40, so there was no way. So when I went to Finland, and I noticed that, oh my God, I could get my salary and I can live from that. I don't need parents to support me. I don't need anybody to support me. I can support myself. Mm-hmm. So that's how I started. And then they And then the only way I have to make sure that I stay there legally, because if I wouldn't be, if I let's say would ask or come to United States, that was my dream, then they would put repression on my family in Poland. So my parents, my sister, and so on. So I had to do everything in my power to be
to make it on the legal side,
not to do anything like asking for going to other country, right? So that's why I signed up for PhD program at the university. And since I signed up for that already, I decided to complete it. So once I completed, and then I met.
Might as well, you're there, right?
Exactly. And then it was really great. I found out how Finnish people are wonderful people. They are so honest. They are such a friends. They are very shy. But when they become friends, they are friends for life.
Wow.
They are extremely highly educated. They have very intelligent, and it was a really, I mean, they treat me like I would be born there. I felt
you look like one of us.
Yes. So I mean, I remember immediately when I went there, I got sick with pneumonia. And they didn't ask me for insurance for anything. They just helped me. And of course, it was like a normal, but it was of course I worked later on, and the taxation was very high there, so I paid my dues, so to speak.
Yeah.
But still, it was amazing that they wouldn't that they are so.
What a great experience for you.
Yes, and I learned Finnish. I passed even the exam because they wanted to offer me a position of professor at the university over there. I was already teaching assistant. I was teaching as a student already. So I wrote a book, they were using that book for many years as for a teacher, for the students, for adaptive control systems. It was fun. It was really, really, I met my husband, and my husband was a TV producer. He was a member of the parliament and so on. So I started meeting these people from the government and other. So I was even playing tennis with Prime Minister of Finland. He is a godfather of my son.
Oh, nice.
What? Oh, my God.
So, yes. So, yeah, my son was singing in a president palace there in Finland. It was very, very, very nice. And then they invited me to United States after I did my PhD, and I presented my paper on the international conference. They invited me here to teach at university. So my husband decided, okay, we move because it was good for his business. I was getting green card immediately, so it was very good. He was international lawyer, so it was really really great time. So that's how it went. So
wow.
The only thing I could say in Finnish was hauskaiola, because we used to say that every Christmas. And
hyvää joulua.
Yeah, hauskaiola, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, hyvää joulua.
Yeah. Hyvää joulua.
Yeah. Right.
That's how we said it, right? Because that's what we remember. When my grandparents came over, they only spoke Finnish, but they died when I was so young. You know, like everyone else was older. They remember more. I remember very little. And some like suomalainen poika and suomalainen doika. So the
poika is a Finnish boy. Yeah.
Boy, yeah, boy and girl, but it's like bad girl, bad boy. So
Gina got the bad girl often, I'm sure.
Don't be that, you know, like there's a lot of other sayings. But I actually did take, because also my grandparents from Italy only spoke Italian. And again, they died when I was too young.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Two different.
Oh my God. The Romanian language.
No, it's not about the language. It's about the culture. You know, Finnish people are quiet. and
God.
very,
And Italian
very low.
I've got, yeah, I have a huge Italian family.
Loud, having
Mhm.
fun. You know,
Yes.
when my sister was living in Italy, so they come with a guitar or to the balcony with a bottle of wine and singing,
food.
and it is like it's completely
I know.
different.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. So when my parents got together, I mean, they're both full, purebred. One's full Italian, one's full Finnish. And then there's four of us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, four of us finished wops. That's what I call us.
Actually, that's a very good combination because that one was Finnish become more outgoing, and that one was
Italian calm down.
outgoing become more.
But it is funny because my dad only had his sister, and like very, very little tiny family, and they were very quiet. And she would come to the, big Italian get-togethers, and they'd be sitting in the corner all quiet, and we're like all crazy, the Italian.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's just a little bit like Greeks. Have you seen
Yes.
the movie?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Greek wedding.
The Italian family is huge. Huge.
Yes, it
My
is.
mom, one of 11.
It's very good family oriented. And
Yeah.
when I went to Italy, Sicily for vacation, and my son was very small, that was the only time I could actually rest because everybody was watching, all kids. So we didn't have to focus on your kid, because that was the kids are there and they are playing together, and everybody was watching every single kid, so that there's nothing wrong happening to them.
Yeah.
So that was so nice. And it is like restaurant. The kids were not disturbance. Kids were part of the event.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
But that's when that's when kids knew how to be kids and behave, and
Yes.
anything that they did was fun. It wasn't out of being like look at me type of thing. Because there's a lot of children now that they throw what I am very good at is temper tantrums, and that's only because they want to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we were young, kids were like they were there to have fun. They didn't give a
well, I'll tell you.
No.
When growing up, there was very disciplined, but when we would get together with the Italians, like in my grandmother's, go to my grandmother's every Sunday would go, but every wedding, every holiday, whatever, we're making cookies, we're making all the pastas, we're, making making the pasta, and then making raviolis and making, like linguine and all that kind of stuff through the machine, doing all this stuff. But us kids are doing that.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandpa Nick taking me out to the garage, teaching me how to play pool, standing up on boxes, playing pool. I ended up being a pool shark.
I came to Florida, and we tried to get a condo on the beach. Mm-hmm. And oh no, you cannot. You have a kid. It's not allowed here. I said, what? Okay, so we go to another one. It's not allowed. We're not accepting with kids. I said, okay. So,
well, then I would not want to be there.
This is the HOA, that they want to not to have kids around. But finally, we found a great place on the beach because I wanted beach. You come to Florida, you want beach, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what part of Florida are you in?
I am in Palm Beach Shores, which is single island, which is very close to Palm Beach.
Okay. So were you affected by the storms that went through?
Very seldom we get storms.
Good.
Actually, I lived in Boca Raton on Highland Beach, on the beach of Boca Raton for 25 years. And only one time, only Wilma, which came from the west when we were affected. Other than that, it went south or it went north.
I would make sure that happens. That stays that way.
It's not that bad. Because I was teaching at UCLA also, and earthquakes, I didn't like them. I really didn't like them. I still remember being at my friend's office in Los Angeles downtown, and she was a lawyer there, and she had a big office. And then we were talking, and then suddenly everything was starting falling from the shelves down to the floor. And she said, oh, this is just an earthquake. And she just put it back. And for me, it was like, oh, just an earthquake.
Get under the desk, damn it.
Oh, yeah. For me, earthquakes are scary.
I couldn't live up there. I couldn't, no way. I would not move to California you could pay me $1 million. I still wouldn't do it. No.
I don't like that either. No. San Diego is better because they are not so often, but Los Angeles is
It's on a
fault line. The traffic, the people, yeah, it's beautiful. It's this, it's that. It's got great places. You got to get there, right? You got to get there. You got to be stuck in traffic. I have too much anger issues driving to be stuck in that kind of traffic.
Well, I tell you, Gina, it will have to deal with your issues. Maybe they will put you in that traffic. Then God will say, here you are. You have to learn. That's why you're on this earth, to learn to figure out your issues.
Well, I come from Massachusetts down to Pennsylvania. It's a lot less traffic here. It's nice. You know,
I tell you, the worst road that I've been to, it's from Boca Raton to Miami.
Yeah.
It's the most dangerous road, I think, in United States.
Is it?
It's people are driving like crazy. Like the ice truck, like that. All the time.
To New York, it's like that. Going over to the GW, it's like that.
Yes, this Miami is worse.
Ugh.
Yeah, New York, we were driving many times.
I think the older I get, the less patience.
Los Angeles is not good, but that one in Miami, it's terrible.
That's crazy. I don't need it. I don't need it. You know, but in Mass, that's how we learned how to drive. You know, and our motto was "You first, after me."
Yeah.
So we would get there, but you know, it's like, I do not have the patience, nor do I want to. And I used to drive faster because you kind of had to, you know, to keep from getting hit.
It's fun to be fast, but I got 2 accidents when my car was slid from the road. Fortunately, nothing happened to me. The cars were completely destroyed, but I slowed down after that. I said, I don't want the third one.
I drive like the proverbial old lady now. I really do. And I'm like, you know what? I will get there. And it'll be like the crazy one that you see on the road. And it's like, I'm getting to the same traffic light you are, and I'm not driving like an idiot. Yep. I'm right here next to you, you know, and he's like, you know, crazy.
It's like when I don't drive. Like, as I always say, I don't have a driver's license. I have a marriage license, which gives me legit to drive my husband crazy, which I'm really, really good at. But when we're driving, I'm like, I watch people who like zoom past us because my husband's a really good driver, but they'll zoom past us. And my husband will be like, what's he late for? I'm going, he's late for his funeral. Hello. You keep driving like that, that's where you're going to end up. I know. And it's like when we get to the next light, they're there with you. It's like,
you see, the problem is that if they only would hurt themselves.
Yeah, right. But you take
the others around. And that is, I have lost several of my very good friends in car accidents, and it was not their fault.
Yeah. Right. And we got grandkids out there, you know what I mean?
They have, like my friend who was
so sorry for your loss.
Beautiful woman, and she had 2 small kids driving with her husband, and they got into the truck. The truck this turn.
Bob, are you still watching? I panic. I panic with trucks. I got mashed 3 times, right? Well, 2 times really bad by a truck, and I said the 3rd time I am not going to make it. All right, because I know I'm not. I've been in a lot of accidents when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. You have to try to predict what they might do.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention all the time, and this is tiring. I'd rather take a train.
Oh yes.
That's.
But I do like flying. I'd like to fly.
I like to fly too. It depends where you're going. If I go from Boca to Miami, I'd rather take a train. It's
yeah.
a cup of coffee, and in 2 hours I'm there, instead of being nerve-wracked.
Do they have the fast trains or the regular trains? Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Mhm.
And now this bright line is really nice.
Nice. I like that.
Just
I
sit
like
down and have a cup of coffee, read a book or something, and you are there.
Nice. Yeah, I've traveled by train quite a few times.
Yeah.
When I lived in different province, I would come back to Quebec, and it'd be like, "Yep, just get on the train. Yeah, don't drive." And buses, I can't be sitting on a bus for forever. So I was like, okay. I took a 7-hour train ride. I was like, okay, I can sleep anywhere. So I was good.
If you can get a compartment
Mhm.
with a bed and with a table when you can work on your computer,
Yeah. Oh,
that'd
yeah.
be great.
so much fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
No nerves, and nobody is really disturbing you with anything. You can collect your thoughts, but
Yep.
it's very
Don't have to worry about
expensive.
anybody else on
It's
Yeah.
much more expensive than driving and even flying.
Yeah.
So
sometimes just to have that peace of mind is worth every penny you spend.
that's very true.
Mhm.
That's very, very true. And this is one of the most important, because if you don't take care of that,
Yeah.
nothing can help you. No any supplements, nothing. And that's why exercises are so important. Even not exercising in a form of people think that they have to belong
Movement.
to, or they have to go to run a marathon. So no, just movement.
Yeah.
Just movement. You cannot just sit all the time. Just every few hours, get up and just move.
Yeah.
Move.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Exactly.
whole life, I was like, I did construction, I did cleaning, I did painting, I did like all kinds of things. I was always moving. I was always fit, always in shape. When I was younger, I always walked. I was always in shape, but I did a lot of physical stuff. So when I started getting out of shape, I was like, I want to go do kickboxing. That's why when I got kicked out of the gym, I'm like, because I figured that that's what my body is used to, that I need to do that kind of stuff, like really physical. And when I found out that I couldn't anymore, and it's like, this is my whole entire life was based on how, like, I could carry 250-pound, 5-gallon buckets of mud across the floor easy, walk it all the way across, up ladders, everything, put it on the stage. And if I picked up one of those right now, my back goes, I can't even.
About it, Gina, maybe you use your body.
Yeah, I abused the body. I did.
Used it already. And this is nothing. You cannot just say, oh, I cannot do it now. Because what you can say, what can you do? And I'm grateful for that. What can you do?
Yeah.
You move. There's such a saying. The person was complaining that have no shoes until they found a person that had no feet.
Yeah.
And you are able to move, and you just need to find
the type of movement that will suit
you. You enjoy doing where you are moving.
Get you a bicycle.
Whatever it would be. Would it be a bicycle? Would it be swimming? Would it be ecliptic? I like ecliptic, put something to listen to and just do. Or you can sit, like even bicycle, like even laying, like people say, oh, you don't understand, I have heard. Laying in the bed, stretching before you get up, and stretching your legs and doing those bicycles, that's already circulation. But doing something.
Yeah.
Because we are made for moving, and if we don't move, that's it.
Exactly.
Right. We weren't born with cars.
Yeah. It's like I do a job, I'm on the phone, I'm customer service on the phone. So I'm sitting down for minimum of 8 hours a day. Not counting that, does just during work hours, but I do, because I have a long enough extension, and my headset is a microphone. I can do it sometimes standing up, but that's me. I have to get up and move. I cannot That's why I can't stand not being able to do what I used to do. Right now,
my brain even thinks better. When
Yes.
I talk to somebody about this, you know, when they need advice, I walk. You know, I take my phone and I walk.
Exactly.
Because and it's not that I tell myself I need to walk. No, it's automatic.
Yeah.
I have more energy when I walk, and I have better ideas coming to my head when I walk.
Yep.
You know, and so and then when you go walking, you know, just enjoy, you know, the surrounding. Find something beautiful, so that it's absolutely enjoyment. And then remember how you feel when you came back, and remember that feeling, and then try to get it. Okay, I like that feeling, because at this moment, honestly, I don't always want to go to exercise.
Yeah, no.
But I just signed for classes. I put myself in the car. I drive. So I am there.
Yeah. Poor Sharon going through it. You know,
exactly.
She's got some health issues too. Boy, I'll tell you, her heart and everything. She keeps going in and out of the hospital. They can't figure out what's wrong with her. So
what's wrong with her? She lives in the States. She got to come to Canada and she'll feel better. I'll bug you till you do. I'm kidding. But everybody needs to. The thing is everybody is so mostly women. Okay, mostly women, and I love the guys, but more women are so worried about making sure everybody else has what they need. Like somebody who is completely unselfish is this woman here. She will bust her behind to do things for other people. And when it comes to doing for her, people just sort of fade into the background. So she does everything by herself. She has her partner. She has Bob, but he's a man. So he does when he wants. You know, I love you, Bob. But it's like Gina is like, you want something? People call her up and she's there. You know, things that she's never done before, she's willing to try it. So, I mean, it's, and the thing is, there'll be times that I'll call her and see how she's doing. She's got no voice. She's feeling like, she got run over by a Mack truck. I'd be like, okay, who did you help today? What did you do today? Because I know Gina is not the type of woman, it's rare that you can see her sitting down. I'll call her up or I'll talk to her and I'll be like, so what are you doing? Eating. What are you having for lunch? An egg sandwich. Please have something else besides an egg sandwich. But she's always moving. Her and Bob set up an amazing display at Halloween and Christmas. So it takes movement to do that. These are things that you do without realizing. I did that. I seen it in the party.
It's huge.
These are movements that you do without realizing it, because to you, the end result is something, like you said, you're goal oriented. You're oriented, and that is to
it's like I would love to be able to do all this stuff without pain. You know? Mm-hmm. Because it's like the
collagen and hydrolysis.
You have to also think that you should be your priority number one.
Yep.
Well, that's what I started doing. What I've been doing. I'm like, okay, I really got to get this in shape because this is getting out of control, and I let myself wallow a little too long. You know what I mean? And I always say, you got to pull the bootstraps up and you got to move forward, and I've always done that. But this, like past 8 years, I mean, I've suffered great losses. I've, like a lot of things have happened. It seems like one thing after another, after another, after another. My dog, my mom, my dad, my other dog. Like. My husband passed away, in 2011. It's like there's a lot of things that kind of culminated to that point. And now I'm like, all right, enough. I need to get myself back to myself. To when I was, my weight and my good feeling, So when my friend says I got to go, and I'm going to go do it anyway, I'm going to go fix her roof. I got to go fix her roof. And it's like,
helping.
So. Have you ever heard about emotional guidance scale?
Emotional guidance, what?
Scale. Like, for example, ask yourself at every moment, how do you feel? Because, heart is the much more important, like much more powerful electromagnetic field than even the brain, right? And it is connected to your emotions. So, taking care of your emotions is critical for your well-being. So, let's say when you feel overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just see here, like, this is an emotional guidance scale. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, for example, here, if you have, let's say, doubt or worry, blame, discourage. So anger, let's say you are anger. So at least you should go up to blame or disappointment. And then if you go to higher, then if you are overwhelmed, then if little higher is pessimism or boredom. Or then you try to get to optimism. And then you try to get to positive expectation and belief. When you are there, you are already on the scale. And then you have enthusiasm and then passion. And then from passion, you eventually go to the highest level, which is the joy, love, acknowledgement, empowerment, and appreciation. And there is nothing wrong can happen to you when you are on that highest emotional scale, because that's the highest vibration. We are all like, we have a body, but we are all really spirits that have a body. And when I don't know if you know with Joe Dispenza work, that is when the people are healed almost instantly by changing that frequency state, and people, but the doctors are very often wondering how it's possible, because everything is the vibration, everything is vibrating electrons. So, and they are guided for us through our emotions. So, and you cannot control your emotions. You cannot say, force them. In other words, that's what I try to say. You have to become.
Yep.
You want to be healthy, you have to become. So you have to feel that yourself. You have to feel yourself to that state. And it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. When you are overwhelmed now to say, stop it, No.
My dad always did a thing, and he taught me, and it's like the thing I want to write. It's like, I'm going to do this really quickly here. All right, so this is you in the center.
Yes.
Okay? When you're overwhelmed, you got to write all your problems in all these little circles around you. And then from this circle, you write, what are the possible solutions for that problem? So every circle has all the things. Now, just because you're writing it doesn't mean you're going to do all these things. You're just getting it out of your head and onto paper. And as soon as it's on paper, it's losing its power.
Exactly.
So I do that.
Method, yes.
I do that a lot. I really do. And then you can look at it and it's like, oh, well, I can definitely do this. I can definitely do that. I can't do that. But I'll do those two things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe another time I can do that one that I can't.
And honestly, when you focus on that, you see, you don't say, I cannot do that, but you ask yourself a question. If I know how to do it, how would I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly the answer comes.
Right. No, I'm not saying that I can't, like, it's a solution.
No, I know what you're saying.
But it's like, I can't do that right now.
Right.
But I will do it later. But I can't do these two things right now. So I will do those two things for that one. And then, in this problem, I can absolutely do everything under there. And a couple more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so, you know what I mean? But it just, when it's here, it's scrambled. It's clustered. It's crazy.
You have to release it and take it out of yourself.
Right.
Yeah. That's right.
Sharon answer you because Sharon.
I'm asking her in Messenger because she can't see this. Yeah. She got diagnosed with PNES, and I've asked her what that is. So, psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. I might be saying that wrong. Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Psychogenic, psycho, but we love her anyway. Non-epileptic seizures. So she's having some kind of seizures that are not related to epilepsy.
So since I had the book on the computer, I had to I had to print out a couple of things. Now, because I do paranormal stuff, and we're always talking about the dangers of EMF and how EMF actually fuels spirits too in the house. You have a whole thing on biohacking your environment, and one of the things you talk about is EMF protection and optimizing your home, which I thought was really cool. So it's not only for your physical body, it's also your environment and the things that surround you. So that's another chapter in the book. And that's why I was like, she's such a scientist, as you did all these
so things. Important. Why would you sabotage yourself? Why would you give exposure to something that destroys you? Mm-hmm. Why don't you just take this out? Especially if you want to sleep well. Why would you get all the, you try to protect yourself as much as possible in order to feel great. That's what I'm saying. Those people in the blue zones, they didn't have any of that, and they were not disturbed. So, like we are sending some equipment and there is in Faraday cage, in order to have this separated from that environment. Mm-hmm. So especially some people are more sensitive, the others are less sensitive, but you have to make sure that if that, let's say the phone, you are not sitting like this all the time, with your phone to your head or to your ear or somewhere. This phone is never with me in my bedroom, ever. This one stays
in charging, but that's
I stay in kitchen and that's it. And nothing that important can happen. And if they happens, they call the house line call, which is connected. But I never watch television. Honestly, I never watch television. And my son, because I don't like to be programmed by somebody else. So my son actually without television, and we just watch movies, and that's about it. And I had projector. I had a projector and a screen, but not a TV. And I try to get protection of the. There is a special program, and this what calls iris, that protects your eyes and those at least a little bit, not completely.
Now, I gotta ask you, because you talked about the wearable tech and stuff like that. That the eye watches, they have those Aura rings or whatever they're called that monitor all this stuff. Now, isn't that kind of defeating the purpose if you're going to be wearing the tech on you at all times? Like I don't want one of those watches. I wear my protective stones.
I mean, people. I do this. This is called Q-Link with the copper here, and that really helps me, because when I was working at university and there were so many computers around, I was getting headaches really. So this one helps me with protecting me from so everybody is different. That's why it is self-experimentation. You can measure something, you can wear it, and then you set it up, and you don't have to. I don't wear anything. I have a normal watch, and so but this one I always wear, especially if I'm working with a computer. But even not. This is so good. On the phone, I also use the special thing so that So it depends
everywhere you go, because it's Wi-Fi central out there. Everybody's competing for Wi-Fi, and the waves are just insane.
They are.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you need to reset. So our bodies are amazingly adaptable.
Yeah.
So we can adapt. But at certain point, the body says enough is enough. And you, that again, it's not one fits all. Some people can tolerate everything. I could not tolerate this music today, for example. I am getting,
I can't stand it.
For me, it's like, oh my God, I'm getting sick. I'm getting, almost throwing up. But some people love it and can listen that to the, I love those frequencies like Mozart, Chopin, and so on. I was brought up on this. And this one, it puts me in a, so.
I listen to 60s, I listen to 60s and 70s music. And
yes, I love that too. So, but it reminds you also your younger age. So it also gets emotional. But there are certain frequencies that are more healing and more disturbing.
Yep.
And for me, those new music, it's very disturbing frequencies.
Very. Oh my God, I can't. I cannot. So if it's on, if I'm driving in a car with someone and they're playing that, I'm like, you just got to stop it because my mind is going to blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a young man who I found on Facebook, and he makes his music, and he is strange and special and adorable. His name is Abel Hart, and he's made his music with the hertz that affect the chakras, that will help the chakras. And I'm like, dude, this guy is adorable. We need to try and get him on our show. But he works, he believes in manifestation. He believes in everything that if you want something, you have to work towards it. You have to put it out there that this is what you want. You got to work towards it. But he's also not the type of person to say, okay, sit back and I want $1 million and I'll get it. So it's for him, it's frequencies that work with his music.
He's absolutely correct. I mean, we're here to manifest, and but you cannot manifest. That's why it's emotional scale.
Yeah.
The only place you can manifest is from the joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. Only from that space, because you can listen to Einstein, you can listen to Edison. How Edison came out to this all his discoveries by connecting with the higher power, or whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
So we have access to infinite knowledge.
Yep.
But we need to quiet our mind, to be able to, and humble ourselves, to be able to listen, because we like to talk, we want to be right, and we want to overpower and get everywhere through the power. And actually, the only thing we need to do is to tune ourselves. Like the radio, we cannot listen to this station if we're tuned to the other station, right?
Right, exactly.
We need to be able to tune ourselves, and from that place, we can manifest. And we have to take responsibility for our lives, because we are creating it. We want, either we create on default, or we create with purpose. And this is our choice.
Yeah.
Everything what happens to us, it's like a stick that has two endings. Every single thing is positive and negative. Every single thing. And our free will is what we are focusing on.
Yeah.
Negative or positive. And whatever, and people don't want to take responsibility, because they want to be victims. Okay, I am.
Yes, I have to deal with that all the time in the field. It's like ridiculous. I want nothing to do with it, and I keep getting dragged into it. Or people trying to drag me. It's like, just stop. I can't. I don't want it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to know about it.
You have a problem? Go see Mama D.
The thing is that if you work on your frequency, those people will never come to you, because they will be repelled. You understand? So it's always given us a signal or indication I have to start feeling better. And you know, if you really focus and say, I'm moving my frequency up, and you start your day like this, you will notice that somehow, some way, everything is working your way.
Yep.
And if you start with anger, with I am here and you hurt me, or that I blame you, or that you are responsible for that I feel so bad, or whatever,
right,
that you attract more of those things to the life. As a matter of fact, one day, one time ago, several years ago, I was working with Professor Taylor from Stanford University. He's an eminent scholar in material science, and he created a device where he had meditators imprint the intention, and he shipped this device to my lab, and we were materializing that intention, and it was fascinating. We have a paper in the Journal of Alternative Medicine about that.
You had a lot. You did a lot. You published 50
I love that. I love that stuff. Because what I was thinking about, if we can create those device implements in hospitals to help people, you know, to changing the frequency surrounding, because in hospitals, I very seldom was there, but when I went, it's a tense atmosphere. You know, I feel it. You know, it doesn't feel like healing. You know.
Yeah.
And if you could change it, I have my very best, one of my best friends. She's a medical doctor. She works in the hospital, so she is putting a music. She's an anesthesiologist. She is putting a special frequency music during the surgery.
Yep.
And it's changes that the patients say that, oh my God, I feel so much better. You know, because all those frequencies, the surrounding, what you create around, you know, if you have disorder, if you have papers everywhere, if you cannot make order, you can't feel, you cannot go up. You can't feel good. You have to make order around you, in your house. You throw out the stuff that you don't need. Don't get, you know, that I have to have, you know, don't get attached to the things, to the stuff, you know, because it's just stuff. You cannot take it with you. You know?
All the stuff, lost all the stuff, got more stuff. Now I got tons of stuff. And it's like, yes, it's like you get a bigger house, you fill it with stuff. Was it George Carlin?
Exactly.
And most of the things you don't use. So maybe you can give it to somebody else who may have a use, or throw it out, or whatever.
I gotta start doing that with some books over here.
Well, ladies, I hate to cut this short because it's been an awesome show, but it is now 10:01, and I do have to feed certain people.
Yep. So this is where you can get the book, Biohacking: A Way to a Better You. You can get that free guide at www.bediscomfortfree.com.
Discomfort.
Be discomfort. I'm like, bed is comfort. I like bed is comfort because it is for me.
Be discomfort free.
Be discomfort free.
And the other link is agereversingsecret.com. It gives you to the same place. agereversingsecret.com is another one. I just figured out that might be even better.
Oh, okay. Well, I should have wrote that. We'll put that in the comments after. But hang with us just for a minute. I'm going to say goodbye to all of you, and we will see you next week. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you so very much.
It's been a blast.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. We are here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests or our own intuitive oracle card reading shows. We are streaming live on Facebook on my personal page and our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, on Mama D's YouTube channel, Angel Meadows, as well as our audio-only venues. We hope you enjoyed our show and our guest or your reading, and we would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, subscribe, share, and definitely hit that notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.